Hello, and welcome to Art Explorers with Miss Mary. Today we will be using cyanotype paper to create an image. If you picked up a kit from the library, it's very important that you leave the paper in the black bag until you're ready to use it. This type of paper uses the sun to create images on the paper. So for this one, I used this lizard toy and set it on the paper to create this design. The reason the paper is in the bag is to keep it out of the sunlight until you're ready to put your objects on there and create your own design. But when you do open up your kit from the library, you'll find there are going to be two different pieces of paper in your black bag. There is one clear plastic that's going to help us if you do use a leaf or something and you do this outside. It's nice to have something to hold it down so it doesn't blow away on you. Last, there is instructions on here that tell you exactly what to do. If you picked up a kit from the library, some things you'll still need to make your own cyanotype paper is some items from your house that you think would leave a cool outline. So you see that this is my leaf and this is my lizard toy. And the leaf I used is very skeletonized, so there isn't much leaf left. But I was curious how it was going to look on the paper, so you can kind of see the design it left. You can use toys, you could use things that you found outside, anything that you think would leave a very distinctive outline. So these outlines are based on what shadow was left. The sun turns the paper the blue, the dark blue. So wherever there was a shadow is where it's white. So it's kind of the opposite of what you would think it would do. So when you're ready, what you'll do is open up your bag. And you can use some scissors. Just be careful you don't cut down the middle or anything because you're going to cut your paper. So I'm going to cut right along this edge here to open that up. Inside the bag there's a black construction paper that's keeping the cyanotype paper safe. But once you pull it out, you'll see there's a white side and then kind of a green side. The green side's the side that you're going to set up your little design. To do this too, you're going to want to find a spot where you can see the sun. I'm just going to set up in here because I can record, but I'm going to run to where the sun spot is and put my design over there as soon as I'm done. So with this, like I was saying, you do have that plastic piece, that clear plastic. So if you did want something that was flatter to be put on your paper, you just put that right over the top and that will hold it down for you. Now if everything you're using is heavy and has some thickness to it, you probably won't need that paper or that plastic. You could just set it straight on there like that and just make sure it doesn't move. Once you get the design you want, you probably want to do it pretty quickly, and then you're going to put it in the sun for 5 to 15 minutes. So when I made this one, I set my timer for 15 minutes, so I did the full 15. Alright, so you get that set up and you find a good sunny spot for it, and I'll meet you back in 15 minutes. Okay, so I've had mine out in the sun for 15 minutes. So once that happens, you're going to take off the items you set on. You can see that those areas are darker. And then what you're going to do next, like I said, you do have instructions. You're going to rinse it under the water, or just rinse it under water. It says until the water runs clear, but when I did mine, I didn't see any pigment come out. So I just rinsed it for, you know, a minute or so. And then you're going to set it out to dry. So I'm going to go rinse mine and then I'll be right back. Alright, now that I've rinsed it, it's kind of flipped colors. So the areas that were darker before are now white, and the background is kind of a blue for sure. You're gonna let that sit out and dry. When it dries completely, it's gonna be a little bit darker. So you're gonna make sure it dries completely. And so you have two, so when you take it out of the bag, if you do it gently and keep one of them in the black bag so it's not exposed to light, you could do them at 2 separate times. Or if you want to set them up at the same time and just have your timer for 15 minutes, have different items on both pages and do them at the same time, that's up to you. And I hope you had fun with the Cyanotype paper. And until next time, goodbye.